Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and I got an email from a viewer, and he was wondering how it was that I got so many views on my website for each video that I put up. And so I thought, well, maybe I could just put up a video on what I've done over the years to get my lots of views on my videos. In the first place, it doesn't happen overnight. And I'll put a link to a really good channel that I found that that goes through all the basics kind of rapidly, but you can take notes or pause here and there. But there are some basic things that you want to do if you're going to build a YouTube channel. And my intent when I started 10 years ago wasn't to build a YouTube channel. I just put videos up so that my friends could look at them. And so it was like, that was the purpose. And then I put up a whole bunch of videos on tutorials on how to use some of the things that are on my website that are kind of complicated to use. And so that was the purpose I originally put up the YouTube channel. But back, let's see, I think it was about 2014, I got my first GPS drone. It was a Phantom 1. And so I started putting up videos on my Phantom 1. And one of the things that comes natural with me is I'm a teacher. I've been blessed with the gift of teaching, and I end up teaching. When I got out of college, I worked for Boeing for a while, and the first thing they wanted to do is put me into teaching. But I didn't do that. I ended up quitting that job after a few months and going and becoming a teacher at a high school. So as you can understand then, a lot of things that I put up are teaching. And if you're going to build a YouTube channel, and here's it's not a secret, but here's what I do. When I get a drone, when I've gotten my drones, if I find out something that I think anybody else would be interested in, I make a YouTube tutorial on it. And so if I learn something, I share it. And you can do the same thing, and that'll help you build your channel. But this young man wanted to know how to build his YouTube channel. He was interested in drones, and like I said, there's other channels that just kind of cover everything in general. But I'll kind of keep this centered into to drones. Now, I'll go down a list of things that I know to do, and then we're going to go through a sample. We're going to upload a video to YouTube, and I'll show you the things that I do to get things uploaded. Okay? So first of all, I need to explain that for almost 20 years I was in broadcasting. And I've had a lot of people tell me that I've got a good voice, and that's a blessing. But anyway, I've got a lot of practice in talking into a microphone. So I've got some good quality microphone, a good quality microphone that was given to me, and so that's what I use, and it makes for better videos. So the first thing that I need to, if you're going to build a channel, and it's going to take a while, but if you want to start working on it, you need to care about somebody besides yourself. You need to care about your viewers. And the viewers that come to your channel, they're expecting to be entertained or fed or taught something. They come there for a purpose. Now, so what you got to remember that. And like when they make a comment, then you want to be sure and answer that comment, and stay. That's how you build a following. If you never answer comments, then people are not gonna. They're gonna say, "Well, okay, I tried to ask that guy a question and he didn't answer, so I'll look somewhere else." Things like that. So you got to care about your viewers. I mean, you got to really care about them. Care about them personally. And that will build your channel automatically. You won't have to work at trying to figure out how to build a channel. It'll just build on its own. The next thing that you want to be aware of is that, sure, you're going to put up some drone videos, but you want to have some content in that video that you put up. Now, I'm kind of different because I like to fly and I like to look down at things on the ground. So if somebody puts up a video of flying around, flying over trees, I'll watch it because, it's kind of interesting. But flying over trees, that one video is enough for most people. And so you want to do something with your channel that is going to cause it to cause people to be interested. And a good idea is just kind of be consistent with what you put up. But that may not be, maybe you can't think of anything. But like for instance, when I got my Bebop 2 3 or 4 years ago, Helder Hugo, he has a channel, and I'll put a link to his channel if I can remember. He's got a channel, and he was my mentor. He had a Bebop 2, and I had just gotten mine, and I started watching his videos. And one of the things that he did was he went to various places to make his videos. He didn't just make them in his backyard every time. He moved, he went everywhere. Now, he lives in Portugal, and in Portugal, there's a lot of different places to visit. Here in Arizona, everything looks the same. It's got sagebrush and more sagebrush, and so I'm not able to really go various places with my videos. So I had to come up with something. And like for instance, you can make videos on practice. Every time you come up with something about a skill that you just learned, share it on your video, or share the video of you practicing a skill. And so like my very first video of drones, I had a Phantom 1. Anyway, I was showing people how to build an FPV viewer that would mount on their controller. And that was my first, not my very first video with my Phantom 1, but it was just kind of natural for me to show people what I had learned, okay? And then that was my first FPV drone. And then later on, when I got my Bebop 2, every time I would learn something new, I would share it. And so I end up on my website, mrkent.com, www.mrkent.com. I have a page which has links to 60 tutorial videos that I put together over the time that I flew the Bebop 2. And so every time I would learn something new, I would share it. And that's something that you can do to build a channel. And so that's one of the things. And then later on, my son gave me a Mavic 2 Zoom. No way I could have afforded it, so I'm blessed that he gave it to me. And then every time I'd learn something new, I would put it up and share it with people, and started building a following of Mavic Mini or Mavic 2 drones. One of the things that I do is when I learn something new in editing, I share that. And by the way, if you're going to edit videos, I'll just put that in here, is I use Kdenlive, Kdenlive. It is very powerful. There's no limit on how long the videos can be, and it's totally free. It's Kdenlive. And it's one of those things where they share the code and all open source. Well, anyway, so when I learn something new on editing, I'll put up something about editing, and so that's just you'll get the feel of it as time goes by, and you'll kind of decide, well, this is my niche, and you'll make videos that'll fit the needs of people looking for new things or whatever. So, but you want to kind of stay as consistent with your drone videos as possible, and don't just start making videos flying over trees and flying over trees and flying over trees, because the normal person, and I'm not normal, the normal person will not return to your channel. Now, another thing that you can do to build your and it really does help to build your channel, is social media. I was on Facebook for a long time, and when I would put up a video, I'd share it on Facebook. I got so tired of people trying. I got tired of all there's a lot of junk on Facebook, and I don't have time for junk. So anyway, I finally got out of Facebook. But that's a good place to share your videos. Every time you put up a new video, put a link to it in your Facebook page. Another thing, as you talk to people and meet people, what I do is I have a business card that I give them, and it's got a link to my channel. It's from my website, but it's got a link to my YouTube channel, and you can make a business card if you got some kind of a Microsoft Word or something like that. So put together something that you can hand out to people, like if you're shopping and then the conversation comes up, just give the guy your card, and because I carry cards everywhere I go. Now, one of the things that I try my very best to answer comments. Several weeks ago, I got way behind on answering comments, and it just really bothered me because I didn't intend to. We had some issues in some company and stuff. So answer comments. Now, I'll show you when we go through the part of putting a video up. You do not you want to say no children, because if you say your videos are for children, they turn off the comments. And the comments is where you make acquaintances and answer questions, and the comments are the huge part of YouTube videos. So make sure that you answer comments. Sometimes it takes a long time, sometimes it doesn't, but just answer comments. And then when you are going to another channel that you like, you can make a comment, but do not try to get people to come and subscribe to your channel when you go to their channel. I never subscribe to a channel that asks me to subscribe. In fact, I don't even like watching their videos. I'm going to show you the tags when we start uploading the video. I'll put some tags together and show you what they are. They're like keywords. And when I started putting up web pages, there's a place where you can put up the keywords. And what those are, if let's say I'm looking for how to land a Mavic Mini, the best way to land it, because I can't catch it with my hand, I get my fingers into blades. So I would do so what you would do is you would use one of your keywords or tags would be how to land, just something like that. And that's what, when people are looking for something, well, then your keyword is going to show up in their search. And then another thing, if you're going to make videos, sometimes I spend all day or 2 days making one video. And so you want to be sure and take time putting the video together. And you want to come up with a good, what do they call it, a thumbnail. I call it a title page, that when they're looking at video or looking down through the video list that they're doing a search for, the picture that you have as a thumbnail is important. And I create my own in my editing program. But if you don't put any thumbnails in, well, YouTube will pick one out. They give you 4 options if you don't have editing material. But anyway, you want to be sure and get yourself a good editor that you can work with. The one I use, it takes a lot of time to learn how to use it, but boy, does it work nice, and it's totally free. And that's what I like. All right, so I think I've covered everything. Maybe I'll cover some more as we upload the video. But let's go to that and get started uploading this video, okay? All right, I've got to where we're going to upload a video, so we click on Create. We come over here and just click on that guy, and then I'm going to go to my desktop, and let's see if I can find it. I think it's this one right here. Okay, So it's in the process now of uploading. Now, I want to give it a good title. So you would type in the title that you want, but this is just a drone video. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Now down here, let's see, let me get my keyboard here. Down here, if you have music in your video, you want to give them credit. But what you want to do here is describe the video that you're making. So we'll type in get my fingers on the right keys, DEMO video. Okay, and so that's that's what we would use for this. Now I could go to, if I have created a thumbnail right there, you see where it says thumbnail. Whoops, where it says thumbnail. Okay, that's a title page. And I don't have one created, but if you create one, you can actually drag it from your folder right over to this spot right here. And but we're gonna let YouTube pick one on this example. So and you can see down here at the bottom that it's uploading. It's 5%, and it's got 23 minutes left. So hopefully we'll cut some of this out of there. But anyway, so then if you want to put it into a playlist, like for instance, I have several playlists, so it's going to pick one of my playlists, but we'll just put it into drones and quadcopters, okay? And then we come down here and we click on done. And then we come down here to, if there's an age, first of all, this is very important right here. If if you want to get comments on this video from your audience, you want to say, no, it's not made for kids. Because if you say, yes, it's made for kids, then you won't be able to get comments. So that's the part right there that a lot of people miss, and they leave it yes. And if it's made for kids, then click yes. But this is not made for kids. This is made for adults, okay? So we leave that clicked like that. And age restriction, probably you don't need to worry about that most of the time. But right here, more options, okay? There's if another party has paid to show a product and so forth, and it never is with mine, so I don't worry about that. So you would say that it contains a paid endorsement. But tags. Now here's what is important. If people, I'm going to move my microphone a little bit so I can type better here. If people are looking for your video, and let's say you're putting up a video on the Mavic Mini, okay? So what you want to do, let me get everything out of the way here. What you want to do is put up as many words that they're going to use in their search. So let's just say Mini, okay? And we'll put a comma, and then we'll say Mavic Mini. Oop. And let's say DJI. And let's say DJI Mavic. And let's say DJI Mavic Mini. And you notice we're putting a comma between each one. And you might even, like if you're just showing your video, you might say Mavic Mini Review. Oh, M-A-V-I-C-M-I-N-I Review. And you can come up with other words that are important to what if people are looking for something, like I said earlier, if they're looking for landing, then you can say landing, and then you might want to put in landings. Okay, and all kinds of things that would have to do with landing. You put those in, and pretty soon they put a limit on how many you can put in, but you can put in a lot of them. So anyway, you put in what you think people are going to be looking for in order to find your video. Now, if you're not in an English-speaking country and you want just the people in your country to get it, then you would click on this down arrow and find something that would be closer to what you want. But most of the time around the world, it's the most common, English is the most common language. Now, if you're going to have subtitles, you would upload those there, but I don't put subtitles on. And so now the recording date. Now this is being recorded on the 14th. Actually, it's Valentine's Day, 14th of February. So that will show up, and I always put that on because then you can organize your videos according to time on your video managing page. Okay, and allow embedding and publish to subscriptions, feed, and so if you put all this stuff in, it'll get used more. Now you can people in blogs is what I normally use, but for a long time I used science and technology. But this could be a useful one, but the rest of those probably don't apply too much to drones. So we'll just leave this at people and blogs, okay? Now then, you want to allow comments, all right? Allow all comments. Some of them may not be, you may not want to hear what everybody's got to say. And by the way, you can go in and you can delete comments that are unlikable. And also, if you go into your comment section of your video manager, you'll see that there's some comments that have been held back for you to decide whether or not they're good. All right. Show how many viewers like this. Yeah, that's a good idea. And then we'll go. So now we're ready to go to the next page. Okay. Now then, you want to make money off of it. Now, if you don't have a lot of videos, I don't know if you can do that, but we'll see. You'll see as if you go ahead and click. Yeah, I want to make money on this. So you click on that and you click on done. Now, I leave these all checked the way they are, except for this one right here. I do not mess with my viewers. If they don't want to look at an ad, they can skip it. So I always uncheck non-skippable ads. Okay, so I don't know what that was about. But anyway, all right. So now we've got that much done. Now we're going to go to the next page, and let's see, location of video ads. We won't worry about that. Okay, so I want to unclick non-skippable, go over here and click on next. Now at this point in time, if you look at the bottom of the screen, it's only 1/3 of the way uploaded. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait until it gets all the way uploaded before we can go any further. So what I'll do is I'll just pause this all, and when it's uploaded, then we'll start up again. Okay, it says finished processing. What it did was it went through 100%, and then it had to process what it had just uploaded. And so it pretty much says 0 process, and then it says 99% or something. And then finally it says finish processing. So it's all finished processing. And now what I always do at this point in the third step here is I always put an end screened video in. So let's show you how I do that. Okay, so this is the end of that video, all right, the last 20 seconds, I think. So if I want to add an end screen, I'll go over here and click on Add Element and click on Video or Playlist, and go over here and click on Video or Playlist. And let's just see, I'll go find something that is relevant, like, well, let's just do that one, okay? And so we'll click on Create. And then you move it around to wherever you want it and put it somewhere, and then if you want a new element, you click again. And let's say we want a button they can subscribe on. So we'll click on that, and that puts my picture that I've set up somewhere on the screen. And then what you can do is you can make it so it doesn't take the whole 20 seconds. You can have it start here, and then have this one start here, and then have this one end sooner, or whatever. And so now we'll go ahead and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, So there's the end of the video, and the elements are where we're supposed to have them. Okay, so that's how that works. And then you go ahead after you preview it and you click Save. So we'll click on Save. All right, and then we have to go up here and return to the YouTube Studio. So now we're back here, and what a card is, if for instance I referenced Elder Hugo's channel, so if I want to reference his channel, then I would click on here, and then I would put wherever I want it on the video. We'll move it down here a little ways. We'll just say right there is where we want it. Okay, and then we would click on Add Card, and then we would just pick promote another channel, or we can click on our own videos. So that's how that works. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and just leave it like it is and return to YouTube Studio. All right, now we're down to the last step here. So we'll click on Next, and if you want to schedule this to go up later, which I never do, I always like to get it right up, you would click there. But here, now you would normally click on Public because you want everybody to view it. But I'm going to click on Unlisted because I don't want everybody to think I just put up a new video. And then here is the link to that video. And if you want to, promote it somehow, well, then you click here, and it gets copied to the clipboard, and then you can go to another, you can go wherever you want to go and paste it. So we'll go ahead and we'll leave it unlisted, and we'll click on Done, or Finished is what it should be, but anyway. All right, and there it is at the top of my list there. So that's how you go about uploading, and man, this is going to be a long video. I apologize for that, but I hope I've covered everything, and if I didn't, you send me a comment and ask for help or answer questions that I've created. All right, so I want to thank you for watching, and God bless.